Hello everybody and welcome to the Igor mission editor for Ghost Recon. Today I'm going to be just doing a basic little tutorial of how to make a little mission and just go in game. And it's not really going to be much of a mission. It's just going to be just something to screw around with, just make guys, have them shoot each other, do a little just practice, I don't know, whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, so I guess right off the bat right away you can probably just make a new mod, which I have like several that have nothing in them because I just, whatever, I don't know. Oh no, oops. Whoa, easy. There we go. Mod, new, name your mod. There we go. Enable it, close and refresh. And then if you make like a mission or anything else you make, just save it to that mod, which we'll see later. But to actually open a map, not a mission, you go to new. New opens a blank map. Open opens a mission. So we want to go to new mission, and it should automatically take you to the mission, but if it doesn't, the directory... Okay, dude, seriously. The directory looks like this. It goes mods, all the stuff, and then they all are very similar to this, where they have all these files, and then mission is what you're looking for, and then that's where all the missions are. So, now we have a blank mission other than a bunch of sound emitters and zones. And the first thing we want to do is you can either add hold on, I'll talk about the camera stuff first. So WASD, that moves you around in this this 3D world right here. Shift makes you go a little faster, I believe. Okay, yeah. Q and E makes you go up and down. Like that, okay. And I believe, yeah, that's everywhere, no matter where you put your mouse. But to move in this area, you drag with the right click. You right click and drag. Just like most other stuff. Just right click and drag. But the really weird part about this is to zoom in and out at this top one, you have to hover over the 3D section and then scroll in and out. I don't know why that is, but that's just the way it is. So yeah, now that we got that figured out, the first thing we want to do is either add a zone or just take one of these zones. And I think I'll just add a zone because that will help out a little later. So to place just about anything, anything in these tabs at all, to place it, it says it right down here, control, click. And you control, left click, and that'll place anything in the zone. It starts out like this, where these are overlapped, and then you just click and drag it out, and it'll give you a little zone like that. And the reason we place this zone is so we can set it as a mission insertion zone, because you need to have an insertion zone to actually get in your mission. And there's a bunch of other stuff here. You can set it to a radius. There's a bunch of point base, all this weird stuff. I'm not entirely sure what most of this does. Recon, insertion, and extraction, I think, is for playing it like a custom mission or game, for when you set it to recon, firefight, mission, that type of stuff. But all this other stuff, I'm not sure what to do, and I don't think it has much of an effect on anything. I'm sure you could do a lot with scripting and stuff, but I'm not going to go into scripting at all much. So yeah, that's the insertion zone. So we're going to spawn in this little box right here as soon as we get in the game. And now we can just create a little, I guess, just a little battle, or just a few guys here and there. So we'll just go mission 9, because these guys look the coolest, I guess, I think. And then to place them, it's the same thing, control, left click. And then when you do it for the first time, it'll say there's no team selected, and you just click OK, and then it'll auto-complete an entire unit hierarchy, and it pretty much only goes up to company in this game. And actually, hold on here. The limit for the amount of actors in a team is 6, but I don't know if there's a limit. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a limit for teams. I don't think there's a limit for platoons or companies either. So you can pretty much put as many guys as your computer can handle, and this is an old game, so you can go crazy if you want. But the teams and platoons, the only property you can edit for them is just their name. The company, you can make one company allied to you, only one. But based off of this, the amount of stuff you can have, the amount of teams, you're only going to need one company for each side, so that's not a big deal. So now this guy will be allied to me. And I guess we'll go over the properties here. Again, you can name them. You can click on the name, change it. The class, I think, is how they physically look. The kit is the weapon they use and just the equipment they have. Let's give them that for later. Just a little later. The start, that's the coordinates he's on the map at. Stance, pretty self-explanatory. The this idle thing, this is animations, so you can set an animation. And the weird thing about animations in this is it rotates the guy 90 degrees clockwise. So if he's facing this way, you give him an animation, he'll be doing that animation facing this way. So that's how that works. And then you can set him to be on every difficulty, only normal and hard, only hard, on none of them. That would be pointless. On all of them. And that's a recruit veteran elite. That's what the easy, normal, hard are. And then you can make them initially hidden, which would be like for reinforcements or stuff later in the game if you want to do some scripting or stuff like that. So that's all those properties. I'm not going to go over a lot of this stuff. We went over company, platoon, team, zone. These MGs, they're just MGs, like this one right here. Stations, I'm not sure. Notes, they're just... Okay, so that's just for, well, that might be in-game, okay, that might be in-game too, we'll see. But effect, oh boy. Yeah, I don't know much about effects. But, again, you can also load up, like, other missions and just kind of mess around in those and see how they do it, and just see how things work. So let's go to plans now. So let's, pretty much for plans, there's a lot here for stuff. You can set the combat ROE, like, hold fire, assault suppress, and then the movement ROE, which is hold, position, just move, and then move at all costs. And a lot of these are pretty self-explanatory. Orientation, just the direction they're facing. Grenades, if you give them a grenade launcher, they'll use that automatically, but if you give them like a like AK-47 with grenades, I think you have to enable grenades for them to use the hand grenades. If you give them like this AK-74 GL, they'll automatically use the grenade launcher. And yeah, available. So I think you just have if you want them to use hand grenades, you can just do that and have them available for them. Formation. I believe there are 3 formations you can set. Wedge, scattered, and single file. Follow just sets the team to follow a specific thing, like another guy or a vehicle. Exit vehicle, enter vehicle. Disengage, I don't know how often you'd use that. Destroy target, that is for tanks, specifically vehicles, because the vehicles in this game... it's old. The AI is really good in it, but it's still pretty old. So you have to script guys to knock out vehicles if you want them to do that. And for other vehicles to knock out other vehicles too. Defend a zone. That's pretty self-explanatory. You throw that down. Defend zone. Oh, and you have to add zone before that. So if we wanted to do this, we would add we would add this zone, have him defend that zone. And I think he's not going to immediately go defend it. If he's on combat mode, I think he'll go defend it. But if he's just standing there, he won't defend it until he's alerted. Alertness, you can set that. Animation, you can set them. Cover, this is, he'll just walk up to this position and just watch in this arc. That's pretty easy. I believe that's most of the stuff. Pace, that's self-explanatory. Patrol, you can give him, that works like the exact same way as defend zone. You give him a zone and then patrol, and then he'll just randomly walk around that zone. Restart, not sure what that does. Not sure what restart does. Speed, stance, toggle AI, unload vehicle, voice, weight, weapon select. Most of that stuff, it's really not, it's just like tiny little touches. It's not going to change much. But let's give this guy a little path patrol, which is probably the most common thing you're going to be using in here. So path, and then you saw this several times. As soon as you go to place the thing, it'll give you this. It says there's no plan. Just hit OK, and it'll make a plan under this team. But you can also make plans under trigger plans here. And then those plans would be for like scripting. So you could have like you could have a group of guys all the way back here, but make a trigger plan to have them go up here. And then script it so then when something happens, they'll then go, so they don't go right away. So that's how that works. But for this path, you get one waypoint right away. And then to create more, you just hold shift, left click, and then right here you can just left click again on all these minus and plus signs, and it'll just give you another waypoint or take one away, depending on which one you click. And then when we go in the game, this guy will just walk right up there. And then there's a lot of other, I guess, finishing touches you can put on these plans, like alertness. If we want him to be set to combat or panicked, he'll just be freaking out and run the whole way. Let's put him on alert. We could put him on, and then we'll go to pace, set his pace to shuffle. And I think you want to put path last. You want to put the alert, pace, all the finishing touches above the thing, because I think I've had problems with that before where they don't follow the path, or they don't listen to these if they're below the path. They take the path and then they go on this, so I think that's how that works. And then you can set it, lock it, or unlock it. I'm not sure what unlock does, but, and I guess we could lock it on that, because I think if you set it, he'll start off alert, but then he'll see no one's around, and then he'll go back to board, I think. So I guess we'll lock that on alert, and then set his pace to shuffle. I assume that would stay on shuffle. We'll see. You gotta mess around with this stuff sometimes. It's a little weird. But yeah, that's a basic waypoint. And I guess we'll give him a few buddies so we can go into the formation thing. Give this RPK guy an RPK. And give this guy an AK-74. And they're still under the team. If you were to like select platoon like this and then create a guy, it'll give you the prompt to create a new team. So if you're under this and you do that, it'll just set that guy to that team. So now these guys will all just follow the leader and just follow that path. But if we want them to be in a formation, so we will set them to a wedge formation. Like that. And you might have to lock it. I guess we'll go lock it just to make sure they do what I want this time. Yeah, we'll put everything on lock just to make sure, but that might interfere with stuff if you want certain things to happen, so you gotta experiment sometimes with this stuff. So there we go. As soon as we go into the mission, they will walk, they will shuffle, I guess, up to that waypoint in a wedge formation on alert. So that takes care of most of that. Placing vehicles, they are the exact same way as placing actors and everything else up here. I believe I talked about zone patrols. Yeah, it's basically like defend zone. You add zone, patrol, and then they'll patrol the zone randomly, and you can set all the other extra stuff, formation, that stuff. So yeah, we set our insertion zone, and now we just need to make sure it shows up in the game, which to do that, we click right up here, or we go to edit, then mission, but we can just go to here, mission properties, and then the thing that makes it show up in game is right here. You go supported modes, single player. You can set all this other stuff, but you want single player. And you can set the mission name. Just name it test, yeah. Then there's a whole bunch of other stuff you can set. The required unlocking if you're making like an entire campaign. The amount of combat points you get when you start this mission. The default team. This is all the guys you get when you hit auto assign. And it basically goes like Alpha, 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 Bravo, Bravo, Charlie. And you'll see that when we get in. And then unlock hero file. I think you just copy and paste your file, the file of a hero, in here, and then as soon as you complete the mission, it'll give you that hero. And now the game is playable, but I want to also talk about this. This is not, there's not much to do with this. The environment, that's just like, I think the skybox and stuff like that. The map shots for when you are looking at the mission before you actually get in it. It just shows pictures of the map. And right now it's Stone Bell. The map name, we don't need to change that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Available to custom game types. I think that's for like firefight, recon, stuff like that. And then the weather, which is pretty much the only reason you're going to be coming in here, to be honest. You can change that to whatever you want. Snow. And then the fog, you can just change that to make vision really hard, stuff like that. We're not going to touch that though. And there we go. That is most of the stuff pretty much for just a bare bones basic thing to come in here. And of course you could spawn like a whole bunch, you could spawn like 50 enemies, have them all in like teams, set them to come down here, set a bunch of guys and have a gigantic battle in the middle of here. But I just want to get this done a little, I want to get to the point, I guess. So, now we go to save as, and since this is like the first time, we could have done save too. But we do not want to save it in equip, and not there. We want to go to our mod, mission, name it whatever, and there we go. Now it's all ready. So now I'm going to switch over to Ghost Recon quick. And then all we have to do is enable our mod, and then we'll be ready to go. That was loud. So, yeah, then we go to quick mission because we didn't set up a campaign, so it's not going to show up in there. Then we just go down to test. Oh wait, no. Yeah, yeah. We want Bob 1. There we go. Pretty much the same exact thing. Yeah, so the recon, when we were at the zone before, there was the mission insertion extraction, and then there's the recon insertion and extraction, and that is what this is for. The recon one, but we're doing mission.
Word just came down from HQ,
and,
gentlemen.
yeah,
We have official
It's basically Stone Bell without any of the objectives, and I'm not going to go over how to set objectives this time because it's pretty simple, and I can probably do it in a how to actually create a mission. But yeah, the auto assign, exactly how I set it: 2 riflemen for alpha, 1 support rifle, support sniper. But we'll just go with 1 guy. Then we'll go in. And yet we spawned right in our zone. The spawning for the zone is kind of weird because I spawned facing this way, and I'm not sure how to change the direction of which you spawn, but I haven't really looked into it too hard. I could probably just look into any mission and just look at what what properties they set for that zone and just copy that. But yeah, here are our guys. Look at that, they're shuffling. They're alert, and they're in a wedge formation, and they're just walking up. And I think they just got to their... Oh, nope. Yep. So yeah, that is a pretty simple thing, and if you wanted to, you could just create another 3 that just do the exact same thing, and then they'll eventually see each other, start shooting. So yeah, that is just that's just a basic, I guess, tutorial of the bare bone stuff of how to make a tiny little encounter or mission, whatever you want to call it, in the editor, and then get it into Ghost Recon so you can mess around with it and do whatever you want. So yeah, if you want me to do tutorials of other things in this, of scripting and stuff, I do know a little bit of scripting, although that stuff gets a little crazy sometimes. But there's also a lot of stuff with tools like editing actors, kits, stuff like that, which I know how to do that. And I'll probably just, when I do other videos, I'll also just make things more complicated, so you just see more of what you can do in this. But yeah, I'll definitely do more of these little tutorials of the Igor editor because I want to, and I looked through on YouTube and I could not find anything on this, on the editor, so might as well make a video on it and a bunch more. So yeah, I will be back with more of these videos pretty soon. And I'll try and do, if you guys got questions and stuff, I'll try my best to figure them out. But with a lot of the scripting, you can just look right in the missions themselves that are actually made. Like you can open the base game missions and just look in the script. I don't think I showed you how to do that, though. It's pretty easy. It's like 2 things. Here we go. So yeah, it's up here with script. You go to script, edit, and then if you open like an actual Ghost Recon mission, this will be filled with a whole bunch of stuff. In fact, let's open mission 1 here. Yeah, and then we go to script, and here we go. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's tags, constants. Okay, not really many constants though. Yeah, I haven't seen many constants even when I look through this, but there's a lot of tags, a lot of stuff. It gets pretty complicated, and I've tried to look through it and figure out how to get stuff done, and it's a lot going on in these. But I do know a couple basic stuff and a little bit of complex stuff. But yeah, yeah. So I will try to do anything, answer any questions, I guess, or record the answers to those questions in this, whatever the hell I'm doing. But yeah, I'll be back with more of this eventually. So thank you for watching.